it is not as easy to collaborate in game development, because a project in game development can be thousands of GBs.
Absolutely. If you are working as a core game developer, then obviously these issues will arise and you have to work from office in that case. But again, as you are part of a Web3 startup and probably a metaverse, then in metaverses, generally the Web3 startups, what they do is they can call you out in the office, or they can provide you all these services, all these hardware, good system and good laptops at your home, so that you can develop it from your home if they don't have an office, or if they have a completely remote team. So they can provide you all these hardware resources that you require for this, and then you can build on the top of it. Hi Harsh, welcome to Building Tomorrow. How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Fine. अच्छा, तो हर्ष, tell me something about yourself, यार, अपने background के बारे में, education qualification के बारे में.
So right now I'm doing my B.Tech Honors from Nanak Engineering College in Computer Science, and I'm also working as an intern at Wolovers as a game developer. About my background, initially I started with an interest in cybersecurity, but over time I was also a gamer along this, and over time I realized that cybersecurity just didn't have the kick for me. So then I pivoted to learning Unity, and then since then I'm doing game development.
Okay, so you are in final year of your college, right?
Yes, sir.
So, tell me something about your college life and your professional experiences before Wolovers, and what all did in the college?
So, well, I had a pretty normal college life in sense I had friends. We used to hang out between classes, and I specifically did B.Tech in computer science because I had an interest in learning more about how computers worked. So even before I started my college life, I've been always learning assembly language, seeing how C programs work, how actual graphics is rendered to the computer, and even during my college life, everything I have done is based around this.
So Wolovers is your first internship. Have you ever done any internship before Wolovers?
I have done a prior internship with an e-commerce service as a startup kind of thing. They used to make Shopify websites for others. I started this as like my 1 month training, which was required by the college, but then I actually liked it and I did 2 months more there.
So you worked in cybersecurity, e-commerce, and now you're working with the metaverse, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is your trajectory.
Yes.
So why did you shifted your careers in these domains?
So, see, the problem with cybersecurity and game development, both in India, is that the jobs are not appreciated as much, I think. So a game developer in India, they will not be treasured as much as, say, a web developer, because the web development, there is more job in India. It's coming as outsourcing and everything. So for me, it was very hard to actually find a internship in this.
No, Harsh, actually, the case is other way around. What you have to think is, when you are working in a technology company, or you're working for a technology startup, what you have to do is you have to think it like that you can work globally and still be in India. So right now, with all this internet and work from home space, you don't have to work actually in India and be in India, right? You can work in India and export your services anywhere in the world. And specifically to the fields of cybersecurity and game development, both of these are very high paying jobs. You just have to learn the right skills, and you have to reach out to the right people to get exposure of these qualities and these opportunities. The opportunities exist in India when it comes to these two fields. Specifically, if we talk about, for example, cybersecurity, so there are bug bounties that are always available online, and if you solve those bug bounties, each bug bounty will pay you anywhere between $500 to $1,000. And if you continuously solve bug bounties for a company, they will most probably hire you as a as an engineer or as a cyber security expert, and they will pay you anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000. That is 40 lakhs to 80 lakh rupees. That's the average salary if you are continuously involved in solving those bug bounties. And these bug bounties that you will solve during your journey will become your resume and will act as a service provider, that okay, this is your resume and these all problems that you have solved in the past few years, right? And this will give you enough opportunities in the future. On the top of it, even if a bug bounty is not open for a company and you still find it, right, and you report it to their technical head, technical lead or CTO, then also they will encourage it, right? They will give you a bounty in most of the cases, plus they will also give you a job because you have solved it. So getting a job in cybersecurity is pretty easy if you are focused towards it and you are actually good at it, right? So the paying scale is very good in cybersecurity. Now we are talking about the Web 2 cybersecurity. In Web 3, there is a whole branch that is called smart contract auditing. It's cybersecurity only, but you are auditing smart contracts here. That is the contracts for the decentralized application, and that will give you enough opportunities to explore. For example, there's a company I mentioned in my previous episode as well. It's called Quill Audits, and they have their own Quill Academy. You can learn. Smart contract auditing for free, and they will give you an internship post that certification, right? That will give you enough opportunities to explore in the future. So all of these things exist, and these things will help you to grow, right? Apart from this, what are your interests and passion, and where have you worked?
So, first, I would like to add to the cybersecurity thing. So, I have worked with CTFs, I have worked with bug bounty programs before, but you can't, like, when I'm talking about my internship, it is something that I have to show to the college that yes, I have done this here, and they won't accept like these programs and everything. So that's why I went to I tried some game development companies. There's this company in Japan called VizCorp. They make like Unity and both Unreal. They provide services. They have worked with one of the like very big companies like Bandai Namco and everyone. And what I saw is that even when you're working away from these companies, you, unlike say web development, you can work it on any laptop. Game development requires you to actually have good hardware if you're working away from it, right?
Absolutely.
And what it requires is, it is not as easy to collaborate in game development, because the actual files could be like a project in game development can be thousands of GBs.
Absolutely. If you are working as a core game developer, then obviously these issues will arise and you have to work from office in that case. So in that case, there can be a learning journey. But again, as you are part of a Web3 startup and probably a metaverse, then in metaverses, generally the Web3 startups, what they do is they can call you out in the office, or they can provide you all these services, all these hardware, good system and good laptops at your home, so that you can develop it from your home if they don't have an office, or if they have a completely remote team. So a lot of startups in Web3 space have a complete remote team. So they can provide you all these hardware resources that you require for this, and then you can build on the top of it. So these are the things that already exist in this space, right? So these are the things. But again, for a traditional Web2 gaming companies, then you have to go to office and then you have to work from there. So this is something that is very much required.
Yeah, that is how I'm working at Volaverse right now. They provide their systems and you can work on that.
Great. So apart from this, have you ever done some certification or some courses around it?
I have done a certification in ethical hacking from, I think IIT Madras provides it through the NPTEL platform, which is a very good platform if somebody wants to get
Right.
certified. They have 8 or 12-week courses, and you get only certified if you clear their exam, which is conducted offline.
Right.
I have done ethical hacking from there, and I have also done, I think, social networks. There's a course where they actually take all the data from different social media websites, and then they try to make sense of it, see how friends are interconnected. There are many interesting trends that you'll see there, that if you have some common interest, there's a high chance that you have two mutual friends who are connected through that interest. So these kind of trends we noticed in that courses.
That's great. But you want to build your career in game development, or you want to switch it to any
I
other,
want
or have
to
you,
start my own game studio.
so you want to start your own game studio? Okay, wow. So have you worked towards it, and you want to do it right after your college, or you want to wait for a few years and build your career and then go into entrepreneurship full time?
So I have a game idea that I'm currently working on, and it's like a very long-term goal. That game idea, it's like I want to someday make it a multiplayer, like massively multiplayer online game. But for now, I'm unable to focus fully on it because I have some responsibilities too, and without money you can't really.
So what is your short term goal in that case, right?
So for now, short-term goal is I want to become a gameplay programmer at some renowned company, so I can get some experience on how the internals of a big game studio works.
Sure. So these days, if you are very keen on entrepreneurship and you want to start and you have idea in your mind, what you can do is you are still few months, build your MVP, and then you can raise a grant or an angel round. Grant is something that is where you get some money in without giving out any equity, right? So you can get that money and build your own company, right? And you can withdraw some basic salary so as to cover your expenses. And once there, then you can obviously you can raise your next round once you are done with your MVP and once your product is live. So you can start with your own MVP and then you can move forward with the grants. So this is another take on the entrepreneurship which is not very famous in India. For example, I work with a company called ICP Internet Computer Protocol. We provide grants from anywhere ranging between $5,000 to $25,000 to developers and entrepreneurs who want to build their own startup. So if you are very confident about the game, and if it's a Web3 based game, then you can build the MVP and then submit a grant application in our company, and then we will give you grant without taking any equity from your side, right? So that can be another approach towards your career if the finances are a roadblock here. If you want to get the exposure, then also it's the right approach that you will work in some company for some time, and post that you will switch to entrepreneurship. So both of these ways can be taken, right? Posts there. So apart from your core skill and your core expertise, have you ever worked on the soft skills or anything else that you want to
So in soft skill, I try to practice my English as much as I can, because English is something that I have to use a lot on regular basis. And
great. So linguistic ability is one of the things, but again, the good thing about you is you already have a good communication skills. You can communicate whatsoever you are thinking. So these two are different things. So already your linguistic ability is good, right? That can work. And again, your communication skills are better, and you can work towards it. That okay, how do I write it? How do I be good in writing? How can I write good emails? How can I write good messages? If you want to get into entrepreneurship, learn a bit about sales. How do I get sales and how do I sell? Because in entrepreneurship, sales is the very important skill that you should have as a CEO. Again, since you are a technical person yourself, you will acquire the technical skills over time, right? Or the pathway to acquire those skills. But if you are running a company of your own, if you are an entrepreneur, then you have to build a lot of other things as well along with this. So this can be another take, right? So anything else that you want to ask?
about the starting a game studio with an MVP, the issue there comes again that game development takes a lot of initial capital. Even when you're trying to build an MVP, you will need at least one good system which can handle Unreal Engine at its best, and you'll need at least one artist who's able to wear a lot of caps in game development. So
And if the initial capital is very high, then in that case, what you can do is you can, for example, you're already working as an intern in a company, then you can have some savings and buy a good system. Or if you really think that okay, the capital is beyond my means at this point of time, then working for a few years or taking out a loan from a friend or a family friend, if you're confident about the idea, then it's a good idea that you raise capital from friends and family. But it's like taking out a loan at this age can be a bit tricky. Then you have to recalculate your family commitments and family position, your personal commitments. So you have to take a decision that okay, I can take a short-term loan and I can repay it with my salary if that doesn't work, or I can repay it once I get the grant. Right. So this can be one of the approaches. The other approach can be you can work for a few years as you have already planned, and then you will have the enough industry experience, industry network connections, as well as the capital to start something of your own. So this can be something that you can go around it. So Harsh, in your resume, first of all, the resume is good. It's single page resume. But again, since you have done a lot of things, what you have to do is you have to customize it that you want to work in particular field. For example, if you are going for game development, then this resume can be focused on game development. For example, you can expand your scope in Volaverse. What exactly have you done, and what were your responsibilities as a game developer there. Then you can discuss these two things, and you can basically highlight your work in Volaverse, and then probably work in this. The good thing about your resume is in skills, you have mentioned that you have done over 5,000 lines in these lines, these languages, and then over 1,000 lines in this, and you are familiar with these things. So this is a very good system that you have adopted there. But one thing that you can do here is, for example, your over 1,000 lines start in this line as well. So it should be separated, and you have a lot of space here also, right? So what you can do is you can just leave one or two spaces here, and then you can put this column a bit down so that you can highlight this as well, right? So this is a very good format that you have adopted, but again, you have to space it well so that you can highlight what exactly you are telling, right? Because an average recruiter will take only 6 to 7 seconds looking at your resume. So you have to highlight things that they can, highlight in within this 6 to 7 seconds. So this is very important. On the top of it, you have mentioned your links. I don't know, mentioning your links actually helps or not, because no recruiter will do it until or unless if you are sending a soft copy, then you can make it hyperlink so that they can directly click from there and then go to your resume website, or just having giving some QR or something like that would actually help. Apart from this, your formal education is also not mentioned. For example, you have mentioned about your projects and your experience, right? So you have to just tell that what exactly were your role here. For example, you have just mentioned software engineer. If you have worked on specific technologies, these are all basic things that you have mentioned. You have to mention about the specific technologies that you worked upon. That will help. For example, in training and placement cell, you have this mentioned it, that you have worked on React.js, you have worked on Laravel, you have worked on MySQL. So you should work towards that as well. All in all, the resume looks good, and it's a really impressive resume. But again, then you can just space out these things and use your space really well, right? And you have to highlight a particular thing that you are applying for, so that the recruiter doesn't get confused that, okay, what is the job title that you are looking at, right? So your resume should look like that you are very focused on something and you want to get that done at any cost. So that should be your goal. All in all, this looks good.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.